Hello, my lovelies. Hello, hello. Hello, my lovely flosstube friends. Fingers crossed this is all working. I do hope it is. You'll have to let me know because, yeah, I've sort of got like loads of screens going on right now. So I don't know what you're seeing and what you're not seeing and whether you can hear me. Happy New Year, my lovelies. Wow, wow, wow. Look at you all. Look at you all. Oh, have I missed this? I have missed you all. I have missed this. Yes, we can hear you okay. Hello, Teresa. How are you? Hello, Silver Stitches, my lovely. How are you? Hello, Claire. Hi, Lisa. Happy New Year in Sydney. Oh, wonderful. So glad to catch your live. Do you know what? This was so impromptu. It was unbelievable because I'm like, I was going to do one around Christmas time. And would you believe it? I've got the lurgy. I know. So I've got a bit of a cough, but I'm past the worst of it. So I'm like, it's fine. I can have a cough, and as long as I don't cough too much, we'll be fine. So just don't make me laugh too much, people, or I'll end up just coughing. We've missed you. Oh, I've missed you. I've missed this. You know when it's just like stitching, not that it's boring, it's anything but boring, but sometimes it is lovely to sort of connect in this way because, yeah, I get to read all of your comments in live, and I love, love, love. Love, love, love. Wow, look at you all. There's so many of you. We've got so many people from all over the world. I absolutely love it. Now, I know my camera's here, but my chat is here. So if I'm looking over there, it's because I'm reading all these lovely, lovely messages. Hey, Mama. Can't hear the music. Can you hear the music or can't you hear the music? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Can we hear the music? I can hear the music, but as if it's no good if you can't hear the music. Look at you all. Just barely. Okay, let me turn the music up a little bit. I've got a new bit of tech. I've got it for Christmas. I think Lauren was trying to insist that I did more live streams, and I kept saying to her it's because I couldn't stand the tech. Okay, let me turn the music up. Okay, can we hear it now? Missing in Stitches says, I can't hear, and that's good for a person with a hearing trouble. Missed you, Teresa. Have not done much stitching of late. I do not mind not hearing music. Okay, you can all hear it now. Thumbs up. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, people, I hope you have all had a very, very lovely festive season. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I can't believe that literally it's nearly New Year. Can you believe how quick that's come round? That is just like faster than lightning. It's like I blinked and I was like, I thought I had 2 weeks off work. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be divine. You know, I've got all of Christmas and then New Year off and then I go back to work and it's all just going to be so, so chilled. And I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going back to work on Tuesday because I'm like, I don't feel like I've had 2 weeks off. Blushing Stitches, did you enjoy not hosting Christmas lunch? Do you know what? I sort of did because there wasn't the build up before Christmas. However, people, I have to say that the whole get up in the morning, do your unwrapping of Christmas presents, then go round to one house and go and do more Christmas presents, then come back, get changed for dinner, and then go to another house and then go and stay there for 3 or 4 hours. By the time I got home Christmas Day, I think I was more tired not hosting than I am when I am hosting, if that makes any sense at all. And because obviously we did what we did on Christmas Day, I still felt that I needed to do something to help with the whole, you know, mum needs Christmas dinner and whatever, because we still had a turkey crown. So I still ended up cooking a Christmas dinner of sorts. It was more like a glorified roast dinner, Sunday roast. I did that on the Boxing Day. So although I sort of didn't have an entourage of people that turned up at my house, I still felt like I was, you know, normally Christmas Day is the day that is just like I'm full on. And then Boxing Day, I sort of hang the apron up, so to speak. And I'm like, that's it. I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to sit on my butt and do stitching or watch movies or, you know, and it's cold meat and mash. That didn't happen. So it was like, yeah, race around all day on Christmas Day. And then Boxing Day was really sort of like me cooking dinner. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Rebecca says, I feel exactly the same, Teresa. And the head gasket has gone on my car too. Oh no, that's never good. I can't believe we're going into 2024 already. I know, but wow, I'm ready. I'm ready for 2024. 2023 was not exactly the best year in the world for me. So what with work and health and all those other things, I was just like, do you know what? Come on, let's race through the rest of 2023. Martina says the older I get, the faster the years seem to go by. Yes, it certainly does. Leanne, hi Teresa. Nice to see you back and being part of a live stream. I hope you had a great Christmas. Hey Susie, my lovely. Welcome to the stream, gorgeous. You should be popping in on Boxing Day. Susie had, well, probably the most people that you could ever imagine in one house at any one time. So I can only imagine what Boxing Day was like, my love. Shannon, do you have a video of how to bead? I'm starting my first chatelaine. I need the new year. Oh, I think I do have a beading video in my how I do what I do video checklist. I think you'll find it there. I'm spending today doing the big after Christmas clean and de-Christmasing my house. I'm not quite there yet. So originally, I was thinking I might do a live stream on New Year's Eve. That was the original plan. But then now we've got friends coming over Christmas Eve. Please don't put us back at Christmas Eve. New Year's Eve. So I'm like, no, that's not going to work. So I'm like, I'm going to do it today because then I've got to do a whole house clean tomorrow ahead of like friends coming. They're staying over until New Year's Day and then they're going to leave. And then I am de-Christmasing. Everything's coming down. All the decorations will be gone by the end of the day so that when I go back to work on the Tuesday, my house is completely decluttered. I'm so there. Cheryl says, I've only just discovered your channel and loving it. Thank you so, so much. I have so many plans for 2024. I'm hoping to start my first memorabilia in 2024. Wow, you've all got plans for 2024. I wait till January the 7th to start boxing. Yeah, no, that's too late for me. When I go back to work, it's almost like, right, okay, we need to get straight. We need to be in the right space because my job works on quarters. So because I do, like, I'm involved with auditing and those sorts of things. The problem is I find it's really busy because our quarter end is in January. So yeah, needless to say, it's hard going. So I never get anything done basically the first 3 weeks of January. They're horrid to go back to, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Oh, Karen, my lovely. You are such a little dear. Look at that. She's done is it a super chat? We've got a super chat, people. Thank you so, so much, my lovely. That is lovely of you. Happy New Year, my dear friend. Awesome to see you live. Yes, I'm here. So, since as I'm actually here live, I best show you what I'm actually stitching on, hadn't I? And just because it makes more sense. So that's what we're here for. Let me see if I can flick the screen over. Why is it not transitioning? Oh, I'm going to have to get this text sorted out. There we go. Ta-da! So, today, I finally got out the lovely Afghan. It makes total sense to have the Afghan out. And I was just like, do you know what? It's about time this baby came out and got some love. It's definitely the right weather for it, that's for sure. Silver stitches Going to Isle of Wight, saving up for hair extensions for one. I have both of those on my to-do list. Hannah says, you've saved me from Mission Impossible Marathon. I take it that the other half will be watching that one then, and you're leaving them to their heart's content whilst we sit here stitching. Donna says, I have one kid turning 17 on the 5th. Mum's 67th birthday on the 13th. Eldest turns 21 on the 15th. Plus being an accountant, January is a nightmare. So I'm looking forward to 1st of Feb. I'm so with you on that. So Kiwi says, where can I get the Afghan from? And how does it work? So the Afghan basically is just a very, very big cross stitch. This one is on an 18 count fireside fabric. I got mine from here in the UK, but I do believe, so here in the UK, they do it as a kit. So you get the fabric, the size that you need, and you also get the chart, and then you buy the DMC threads separately yourself. And then the only difference between this and any other stitching is because it's on such a big count, I'm stitching 4 strands over 2. But it's lovely to see. And if it's rather chilly, which I can imagine in Australia, it's not very chilly, you can use it as a blanket. But needless to say, because I'm sitting here on a live and I've got loads of lights on me, and I can't really have it laying across me as a blanket because I'm sort of in this setup. I've got mine all bunched up and sort of like folded up, and then I've got these massive great big clip things that's holding it all together here to keep me on the straight and narrow, so to speak. Hi and happy new year. Pulling together my whips for filming my whip parade tomorrow. Oh, another whip parade. Do you know what? This is the first time in absolutely ages that I've had the opportunity and time to watch everybody else's whip parades and plans. Karen the Needlebug even did one, which, you know, I think that was the first, Karen. I watched it, my love. I might have watched it at about 2 o'clock in the morning one night when I couldn't sleep, but I was there. I was watching. I love it when I can get to see other people's plans. If you're enjoying my live stream, make sure... Oh, that's me. That's my bot. I'm in the UK, so do I just Google it? So, Kiwi, I think you'll find that in the chat, my bot will tell you where to get it from. There it is. So Miss Lollipop Sims has just put a link into the chat. Here's the link to the kit. The nimble thimble crossstitch.co.uk. That is where you can get and purchase the chart and the fabric as a kit. So then all you need to do is go ahead and get yourself your DMC threads. Thank you ever so much for that, Lolly. For those of you that don't know, Miss Lollipop Sims is my daughter. She has a channel, so she makes sure that when I first go live, especially when I've been away, when I've took a break, people, when I've took a break for a while, she's the one that basically makes sure that everything's working as should. And if we have any technical difficulties, she is first on point to come and assist us. Now, normally she would be streaming around this time, but I'm not sure that she's going to be streaming this evening. So yeah, so love up. She's on point for us this evening. How comes you're not going to the Bella Filipina retreat no more? Chloe. So the Bella Filipina retreat, unfortunately, is clashing with a stitching retreat that I'm going to in Italy, would you believe? So when someone gives you the option to go spend 5 days in Italy or go to a weekend retreat. I mean, there's 4 of us. We're going off to Italy. We're going to, I think it's sort of Tuscany way or around that area. We've got our own little villa. We've got a pool, and we've got 5 days. So it was like, do I pay for a 3-day weekend away locally, or do I go to Italy, do a spot of sunbathing and do some stitching with friends? So yeah, unfortunately, the Bella Filipina retreat was not an option this year. But like, you know, I won't be going to Italy every year. So the chances are, the fact that I'm not going to be at this one this year, let's say this year, next year, 2024, doesn't mean that I won't be at the next one. So, but I'll take the sunshine any day, any day. So Charlotte, hello, my lovely. Thank you for coming on the stream. For those of you that don't know, Charlotte is stitching with the kids around. She is also one of the mods on this channel. She looks after the chat for me. And she's just said that Nimble Thimble is taking a break at the moment. So she's not taking orders because she's on her holiday break. But as soon as she gets back from her holiday break in the new year, I am sure she will be up and running and you can place your orders then. It will be a long-term project because I swap and chop my projects. Hey, I know that feeling. I know that feeling because that's all I do, apparently. Right, let me converse with my chart, people. I'm sitting here chatting away with you and I've not done any conversing, so I don't even know whether I've gone right or gone wrong here. Charlotte says I'm slightly jealous. I'm really looking forward to it, Charlotte, I must admit. It's going to be my first actual stitchy, what do you call it? Stitchy weekend away. Well, it's not a weekend. Stitchy week away with friends. But the fact that from a price perspective, it was just, yeah, it would be silly not to. So we was just like, do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it and thoroughly enjoy ourselves. Right, I'm just sticking my chart on here so that I can make reference to where I am. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way. Hi, Penny, my lovely. Welcome to the stream. Claire says she's booked her first retreat going to the Nobam in October. Look at you. Look at you. First retreat. Wow. You will have such a blast. They are so much fun. So much fun. Right, so Lolly has said, hey, Mum, I need to fix your chat on screen because people can't see it. Can you go to the right? Can you go to the right? Back a second. Oh, right. I'm going to go to the be right back a second so she can come in and sort the chat out because the chat should be on the screen. People, hold your stitching. Do whatever it is you need to do whilst I quickly go on a be right back. And yeah, we're going to quickly fix the chat that's on the screen because it's fine while we're live. But for those that are going to be watching this back, they really get annoyed when they can't actually see what the chat said. So on that note, give me 2 seconds and yeah, we're going to fix this. Okay, I think we're running. Let's see if we've got this right, people. Now, fingers crossed, this should work. It should work. So I'm going to turn that off, and we're going to see whether we can rock and roll here. Let's see how we do. Oh, Donna, my lovely, thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Now, I'm hoping that the chat box is going to do what I need it to do, because at the moment, there's nothing in it. Let's see. Can someone type some stuff in the chat to me so that I can see whether this is working? All of a sudden, it's tick, 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 tick. It's working. It's working, people. Oh, you lovely, lovely little lot. I've just seen it sort of just trickling lovely. I think we're working. What do you think? Do you think we're working? Oh, dear. Test from Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. I'm not sure how many people we've got on Twitch. I think this is my first time multi-streaming. Normally it's just a YouTube thing, but yeah, we're testing out the Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, watch this space, people. Watch this space. Hello, Lynette, my lovely. Welcome to the stream from Dallas. Is it LD? LD, hello LD. First time catching you live. Yay, welcome to the stream. Right, okay, I need to get some stitches in, people, because it's what I'm all about this year. I've decided, my New Year's resolution. So how many of you have got your plans for 2024? Or are you just rolling with the same plans that you had in 2023? Come on. I need to see what the trend is this year for everyone. Honestly, watching flosstube and watching all of these bits and pieces is a bit like watching the London Fashion Parade. Like when it's like people are talking about the trends. What's in for next year? My husband loves your laugh. It doesn't help that I've got a cough. So, yeah, the laugh is a little more husky than normal. Kiwi said, just added the Afghan to my cart. Teresa, you did it again. Sorry, not sorry. Not sorry. Not even a little bit sorry. Cheerful New Year from Denver. Hi, Deborah, my lovely. Welcome to the stream. So, Rachel says... Oh, it's moving. It's moving. I'm planning 24 starts into 2024, 2 per month, a mix of smalls and big projects. 24 starts. I'm not even going to ask how many projects you already had. Leanne said, where do you get your big rings for your floss drops from? And what size are they? Oh. What, you mean the ones for my... Oh. Shall I get them? Hold on. Sit tight, people. Let me make sure I'm getting the right. Stay there. Stay there. Let's have a look. Is this the ones that you're talking about? These biggish rings. The ones with all the flosses on. Is that what we're referring to? If so, I just got mine off Amazon. Here in the UK. No whips here, just one project, custom made, so I don't have artist or website to mention. It's from my D&D players. Check you out, Tori. Yep. Leanne, they're just from Amazon. I'm trying to remember what size they are. I tell you what, do me a favour. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger so that I've got your contact. I will send you the link of the ones that I ordered. And then that way it will tell you what size they are. If that helps you. Lynette says, I downloaded your spreadsheet. Can't wait to use it. Thank you so much. You are more than welcome, guys. I tried so hard to get everything sort of done this year ahead of time. It was a bit of a push. There may be, for some people, I think they got in before I'd sort of ironed out all the teething problems on some of the spreadsheets. I think some people downloaded the version that still had a couple of little issues on it. So that was why I sort of said on my video, if you have any problems with your spreadsheet, just contact me. Just contact me, share your spreadsheet and what the problem is, and I can go in and make some adjustments. I know that some people are not fabulous on the whole Excel, but I made it so that I'd done one for the day counters, such as myself, and I also did one for the stitch counters. But obviously, by making both of them and sort of using one and then sort of making the adaptations to it, yeah, I needed people to sort of really use it and test it to let me know whether it was working fine. I'm focusing on, right, so Donna Marie says, I'm focusing on Heaven and Earth Design Sal Plus Pennywise chart and should finish them both ready for a Haid MK. Is that Max Colour by any chance? Oh, a Haid MK group starting in October. Dana says, if that's Deborah from Arizona, I'm stitching Sleeping Beauty because of you too. Is Deborah on the stream? Is my very dear friend Deborah on this stream? Did I miss you? Claire says, I downloaded the spreadsheet too. Was filling this out yesterday, ready for 2024. I'm loving that you're all planning. Dawn says, I'm planning to do the US flag because I saw you are stitching the flag. Laugh out loud. Love you, Teresa. What can I say? I thought that, do you know what, that was Caroline's fault. Caroline the flosstube. Is it flosstube stitcher now? Caroline Mazzio. Yeah. That's, if we're enabling, if we're going to say anyone's enabled anyone here, it was so Caroline. It's all Caroline's fault. It's absolutely nothing to do with me. I just shared the fact that I'm doing it. I'm throwing that one out, honestly. That's not a Teresa made me do it. That's a Caroline made us do it, okay? Hi, Emma, my lovely. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing a snowman. I don't really celebrate the new year. We don't like it. Well, sometimes it's a new year thing. Sometimes it's a Christmas thing. Sometimes it's a just, let's just enjoy the year thing. Hi, Nancy. She's stitching on Christmas. Stitching Christmas garden right now. Working on several quilts too. Look at you. Sue says she's planning her first Sal after watching you talk about the Quaker flag. See, look, this is not me. This is not my fault. For once in my life, it is so not my fault. This is somebody else's fault. I know you're finding it all very, very hard to take in that it's not me. And I was totally enabled. Totally enabled. Do you think you will end up doing another Afghan after you finish this one? Charlotte, let's just see how I get on with this one first. I mean, this is like block one of... How many blocks has this got? It's huge. I'm trying to... How many blocks? 2, 4, 6. So it's 6 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stitching. But at least it's nice and big. I'm not struggling with my eyesight this evening. Let's put it like that. Although, I'm going to confess something. Now, this is almost unheard of on a live stream. So early in the live stream. But this may have happened. This was my Dutch courage to come on here. Because it's been a long, long time since I did one. And I was like, what if I don't remember anything? So I'm like, do you know what? If I have a little tipple of my Baileys, it won't matter. And there's so many people that have reached out to me and said, Teresa, are you going to do a live? Well, I'm live. We might be sozzled by the time we get to the end of this. LD said, thanks for sharing. The Union Jack is in the basket. Deborah says, I have a beautiful lipstick duck to start. Need to get on with Magwayan. Do you know what? My Magwayan has been left to the wayside as well. Silver Stitchy said, I'm planning to start Princess Elena from Mirabilia next year. Hi, Anna from Stevenage. I'm doing the single colour tiles next year, trying to get a knitted blanket done before tomorrow. Do you know what? I haven't touched my crochet at all, people. I had all these great ideas and I'm not getting anything done, as usual. Dawn, you are so right. Yes, Caroline made us do it. I think we should all, I don't know, go on Caroline's Instagram and say, Caroline made us do it. She is so to blame. Dawn also said, I've downloaded your spreadsheet too, hoping it will keep me on task. Fingers crossed. It works for me. And do you know what? It's not even that it keeps me on task. It's, you know, when you get halfway through the year and you're thinking, oh, I've really not been that productive and I've really not done this and I've really not done that. And then all of a sudden you look at the numbers and you're like, do you know what? That's not too shabby. You start off thinking, oh, it's turning into a terrible year. And then before you know it, it's actually going all guns blazing. And if you ever needed to convince yourself that, you know, you're obviously bored of what you're stitching on, you need something new, of course, it always helps with that as well, because it's amazing what you can justify when you need to. Charlotte says, I'm still on block 1 too. Charlotte, are you what Afghan are you doing? Are you doing the same one as me, or are you doing, you're doing a different one, aren't you? What one are you doing? Oh, Sozzle Teresa. So looking forward to that. Silver Stitches, behave yourself. I'm intending to stay teetotal-ish, at least until 8 o'clock, okay? Christy said, Baileys and coffee. It's morning here. Face 2 blue smiling. Getting my saga started, Jen. Oh, Donna Marie's asking where the spreadsheet is. Now, I don't know whether I did a little link. I didn't. It's on my blog. If you go to www.teresalittlestitcher.com in Google, if you go on there, the very first post you see will say 2024 tracker or something like that. There's 2 downloads in there. There's one that is if you count days of stitching on projects. And there's one if you are a counter of stitches. So if you like to track the number of stitches that you do per project. You just go in, you put your whips into it, and then you fill out the year at a glance, where you just go in from the drop down menu, pick all of your whips, and then it will track everything for you. I did do a video on YouTube, sweetheart. So if you want to know how to use it, how to download it, how to use it, go look up that video. It's like literally, I don't know if it's the last video I did or the one before last, where basically I just share how to use a spreadsheet. If you're a spreadsheet person. Hey, Sandy, my lovely. Just joining you tonight as I've been with my daughter's family all afternoon. Wow, I bet you're absolutely exhausted, Sandy. I do hope you've got your stitching out, sweetheart. Dare I ask you what it is you are stitching this evening? What fun have you got? Sandy is a very regular lady at the Essex Needles Retreat. And man, can she put out some stitches. She might have actually had something to do with some duck stitching. She was definitely in with the duck stitching, weren't you, Sandy? So Charlotte says she's stitching on this Afghan as well. Same as me. Not got the floss for the other one. What is the other one, Charlotte? I know that you was sending me pictures to try and help enable me just a smidgen more. Karen says, another shocker. I'm actually going to give Whip Go a try this year. Want to start a pool on how long it lasts. Karen, sweetie, look at you. Not only do we have a whip parade, she's going to have a go at whip go. She's going to put some goals in mind. I'm loving it, Karen. We can always have a little whip round to work out how long we think it's going to last for, can't we? But hey, it doesn't matter how long it lasts as long as you liked it. I'm stitching Easter from the Cricket collection, picking up the buttons today from Create Nostalgia. An amazing and helpful Mary sorted me out. Do you know what, Sarah? I went and called up Mary earlier on this week because although you haven't seen much of me, I did manage to do a bit of a finish for myself. You know, I kept saying about I keep doing all of this Christmas stitching for everybody else other than myself. Well, I actually stitched something for myself. But then when I got to the end of it and I needed to put it together, I was like, I have no idea how I do this. But I remembered that when I went and saw Mary when I was in Wrexham, she was saying about this Wonder Web and how to use it. But for the life of me, although I'd ordered it and it turned up, I couldn't remember how I was to use it. It just wasn't making any sense. So I gave her a call. We ended up sitting on the phone for so long. So long. It was so funny. But I have sort of got a finish that I've done for myself, finally. So Charlotte, the other Afghan that you've got is Rose Cottage. Yeah, I need to get a picture of that one. Hey Mags, my lovely, how are you? Did you have a lovely lovely Christmas? I look forward to seeing you later on. Is it not this month? I think next month. Am I seeing you next month, Mags? Are you going to be there? Must get the fancy duck back out soon. Oh yes, you must. As must I. Right, let me finish this thread here. Wow, I'm struggling to keep up with this chat because it's moving. It's moving a lot. Donna Marie says, got it, downloaded, thanks. Give it a go, sweetheart. You'll have to let me know how you get on. So Sandy's just got out her Celtic Autumn. Ducks resting. Plans for 2024 in Germany. Some of the floss tubers do a no-buy year. So we can get more done on the whips we have. I really should take note of that. I really, really should. Oh yes, another Teresa made me I stitched a jumper ornament on Boxing Day. Hannah, look at you. Susie says, I'm doing the Harvest View Afghan, only completed the first block. Well, I haven't even completed the first block. I'm a little behind, but then given that I've not stitched on anything other than bloody Christmas stuff, which don't get me wrong, I you know, it's fun to stitch on Christmas stuff, but do I really want to be stitching on it since like April? Because it took April to December, really, for me to finish all of my Christmas stitching. And then, because December was just a whirlwind of Christmas shopping, you know, sorting the house out, getting ready for Christmas. So, and then I was sitting there thinking, do I do? Because you got to imagine, by December, I'm like, I'm Christmased out. I don't even want to look at anything else that's stitchy, Christmassy related. And then I was like, you know what? No. I was like, grin and bear it. Suck it up, Teresa. It's not like you can really crack on and do much of anything else anyway, because it's a busy sort of a few days. So I'm like, I can do one and just throw one else together. So I did. Do you want to see it? Do you want me to show you my poor attempt of my own finish for me? Oh. Let me see if I can show you. There we go. Look. This is mine. This is my finish. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, people. I'll be honest with you. I rather liked the actual bits and pieces. The putting it together, I can't believe how hard these little pieces are when you've got to try and cut them out, though. That's the only snag. I was like, oh dear. And the back, I'm going to show you this because I need you to see that I am anything but a professional here, because it's shocking. But look, how bad is that? Look at the state of it. And that was with instruction. And I still couldn't get it right. So I haven't even put a hanger on it because I was just like, I don't even know if I want to have that hanging up. I don't know. At a distance, are you going to be able to see? Probably not. Once it goes on a tree. But I don't know. Everybody else's little finishes always look so much better. Apart from when I'm doing... These are the sorts of things that are too fiddly for me. I can't seem to get how you make the backs look nice. And how you make it all sit nicely together. That's the problem for me. So I've sort of finished it, but obviously it's not hanging anywhere because I was a bit disgusted with how badly the finishing went. Maybe it was that I rushed it, I don't know. You know when you just thought, I don't know. But it didn't go as well as everything else. Stacey says that isn't bad and pretty good. Stop being hard on yourself. We are our own worst critics, right? Hello, I just finished the temperature bookshelf for 2022 half an hour ago. Room for a new start. Look at you. Look at you. Christy said, it's nice. I like it. The stocking is pretty. I realised too late that I'm a seasonal stitcher. That means that no one receives Christmas stitches. Well, I tried the whole doing it from earlier on in the year, but it just made it so that my entire year was filled with Christmas. Which then, by the time you actually get to the point that you should be enjoying Christmas, I was just like, I can't think of anything worse. I don't want to do any of the above. None of it. Megan says, this year I'm doing an astrology cap from the Haid sale. Yeah, do you know what? I managed to contain myself. When I saw that they were doing a Haid sale, I was like, do you know what? Don't do it, Teresa. Don't do it. So Silver Stitches is a little confused over what Whip Go is. And she's asking, can someone explain to her what it actually entails? So... I suppose I could explain it. Basically, the crux of it are, on Whip Go, you have a board with numbers 1 to 25. You join the Facebook group, and Jessie Marie does stuff on flosstube. She's the creator of the Whip Go. She basically calls 2 numbers every month. You never get the same number called twice in any one year. So if the number comes up again, she'll just recall another number. But basically, she'll call 2 numbers a month. You mark it on your Whip Go board, and on your Whip Go, you would basically have it so that you would have a goal. So for me, on my Whip Go board, I've got like, rather than a number of stitches, which some people do, I've got stitch 2 days on a fancy lady, or stitch 2 days on a sampler, or stitch a day on... It's basically that. So you preset it at the beginning of the year so that when the number gets called, that's what you have to do for that month. If you complete those goals, then a lot of people then, for either a line or a full board, will give themselves like a reward. If that makes sense. Can anyone else explain it any better than that? I have 2 new starts planned for this year. My first Haid and a Glendon plays. Look at you, Laurie. Right, now, let me just converse. Conversing. Oh, do you know what? I've just started over here and I haven't finished that yet. Missing in a stitch said just sewed a project bag for myself. Cute fox fab. Love, 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 love. Queen's Crafter. Hi, Teresa. I'm happy you're streaming. Your project looks great. Happy New Year to you and your loved ones. Happy New Year. I am looking forward to the new year, I'll be honest. Right, let me make some markings. So what have you all been doing with your time over the festive season? Have you managed to get lots and lots of productive stitching in? Or was you a bit like me where it didn't quite go according to plan? Because I can't believe that tomorrow is New Year's Eve and I'm going back to work. And, you know, there was me thinking I was going to have all this time to do loads and loads of things. And it just hasn't happened. Just hasn't happened. Which is fine. But you know, when it's just like it sounds much longer when I was sitting there saying to myself, I've got 2 weeks off. But it was 2 weeks off, but you sort of spend, at this time of year, you spend all that time like racing around, don't you? And, you know, doing food shopping and, you know, getting the house tidy and finalising your Christmas wrappings and all of that jazz. Hi, Crystal. Welcome to the stream. Just joined and you are stitching on the Afghan. I sure am. It's definitely the right weather for it. It's not that warm. It's not that warm. Had my last reconstruction surgery from breast cancer this year. First day in a long time I'm doing some stitching. Marie! Congratulations, my lovely. And the fact that you're actually getting some stitchy time in is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's hope 2024 is the right year. Claire says, lots of stitchy time, so have been doing my Bella Filipina that my husband brought me for Christmas. Oh, Claire, what one? What one did you get? I've got far too many of those now, and I'm like, do you know what? I need to stop buying them so that I can actually get stitching on them. And then, of course, I go and pick up these massive, great big monster projects, which you just know are going to eat into so much of my time. Oh, Anna got COVID just before Christmas, so no stitching here, knitting easier for me. I get that. I wish knitting was easier for me. I keep trying to go to pick up my crochet, but then and it needs to be deadly silent when I'm watching the video and when I'm trying to sort of get my head around the first few rows in the new block. So I'll be honest, I've neglected it, but it's not disappearing. My stitchy bug went completely MIA from 20,000 stitches in November to barely, 20,000 stitches to barely 2,000 this month. It's coming back. Jen, lovely to hear. Trust me, if all you're worrying about is getting 2,000 stitches in a month, I'll argue that I didn't even manage that on most months. As a church organist, unfortunately there is not much time for stitching during the holidays. No, I can imagine. Hi, Teresa, looking beautifully festive tonight. Well, we had to go with the Christmas stream because I wouldn't mind, but it's like, you know, I've gone to all this trouble of doing the Christmas stream. It'll be one, and then by the next stream, because there will be a next stream. The next stream will just be a normal Teresa made me do it type looking stream. But it was worth it. It was worth it so that at least I could do the festive thing this time round. Got another fee. Oh, so Hannah says, I've got another full week off yet and got my first sewing machine, so hoping to have a good go on that next week. Look at you. Rachel says, I've just done working a bit on Hollyberry Pixie by Bella Filipina. Silver Stitchy says, I have had no plans for Christmas on a year. I am, however, going to go to see the Wonka movie with my dad on Thursday. Hopefully he has an operation recently on his thyroid. Hey Mary, sweetheart. Deborah sends her love. It's not her in the chat. She's really looking forward to seeing you in February. Not as much as I'm looking forward to seeing her. Okay, so it wasn't Deborah from Arizona in the chat, unfortunately. I will get to see her in February. I can't wait. Super exciting stuff. Monstrance says, my project is in timeout because my iPad has bombed out and working on a paper chart is just annoying me. So annoyed. Oh, my love. I feel the tech issues. Tech is never fun. Never, never fun. Luckily for me, my husband was hearing me this year, people. So I'd specifically said to him that my iPad was so old and it was too small. And with the amount that I actually use my iPad, I'm like, I need an iPad Pro. But I don't want the little iPad Pro. I want the big iPad Pro. So he might have been very good to me this year and got me my very, very flash iPad Pro. And it is like, because I'm forever on YouTube. If I'm not on YouTube, if I'm not watching flosstube, I'm looking at Excel spreadsheets. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing something else. So because of that, I mean, I need something that's big. I know that some people sort of say, yeah, but it's not that portable. But for me, it's more about how much time I spend on it. And given that I spend all my basically waking hours looking at computer screens, I'm like, yeah, I don't need anything that's going to make my eyesight any worse than it already is. And I think he sort of agreed. So love him. He went ahead and got me my new iPad Pro for Christmas. So I'm a very happy camper right now. It's like watching everything on a TV. It's fabulous. Brenda said, how's the girls? The girls are quiet. I took them out for a walk before I came onto the stream because, yeah, I knew there'd be a problem if not. And Darren's here, which is unusual. So Darren's in the living room with them, probably giving them lots of cuddles and keeping them nice and quiet for us. Between that and feeding them, yeah, I think the girls will be happy little campers. Happy little campers. Charlotte says, I'm jealous. I'd love to meet Deborah. She's amazing. She was one of my first ladies I watched on flosstube. She is adorable. Absolutely adorable. New iPad for Christmas. Yay. Yes, most definitely. You know, when you just like, there's certain things that you really, really wanted. This was one of them. Oh, hang on. I'm sitting there. Do you know what? I'm sitting there saying, how are the girls? And I thought that they were in with Darren. You've got to see this. Can you see them? That's how good they're being, people. They're right behind me all along. Chilling on the sofa. I didn't even see them there and they were so quiet. They're like little angels, aren't they? They weren't angels when I went for a walk with them, but you know, we'll ignore that. We'll ignore that. Looking forward to starting my first Nora in 2024, the letter A. Lovely, Elizabeth. They're so cute. Hey, Morty, my lovely, and the Brom. How's it going? Don't worry about being late. Normally, that's me. Crystal, my girls are like that too. I didn't even know they were there. Normally, they're not that quiet, so I would have known that they were there. But the fact that, yeah. I think it was because I took them for a walk. I think I took them for a walk and then they were like, yeah, we'll just have a little nap, Mum. We're sleepy. I got my girls curled up, fast asleep on my bed. Sarah says, hi, Teresa. I'm doing 2 whip go boards with the help of your download planner. One is days for smalls and stitches And stitches counts for my heids. Fingers crossed it works and do not go out the window by the summer. Well, even if it does go out the window by the summer because you don't keep up with it, at least you've got figures up until the summer. That's one way to look at it. I tend to find that by the time I get halfway through the year, I get so intrigued by what the numbers start telling me that it makes it more enticing to actually fill it out. That's my experience, but then I would say that I'm a spreadsheet geek. I like to see the numbers. I didn't realize you were going to do a live I didn't realize we were getting a Teresa live stream for New Year's. Just got home from grocery shopping. So happy to get to stitch with everyone today. It was completely impromptu, I'll be honest. I was originally thinking of doing something a little earlier, sort of between Christmas and New Year, seems as it's been so long since I've done one. But then I had a cold, so I was like, well, I best not, because I was still standing a little bit too croaky. Whereas now, we're not quite so bad, unless, of course, I start laughing or I cough. She says. And, of course, I cough on cue, because that's how a cough goes, right? I hate numbers. Maths was my least favourite subject at school. Spreadsheets confused the heck out of me. Silva, you say that, but this is just, it adds it all up for you. All you have to do is say, I stitched however number of stitches today, or I stitched this 4 days this week. And then the spreadsheet does it all for you. So you don't need to be good at numbers. You don't need numbers. Christy says it's so cold here, even the dogs don't want to do anything outside. Usually we walk at least 2 miles a day. I plan to start Kingdom of Books. I'm really happy about it. Do you know what? I've looked at that Kingdom of Books. I'm not quite sure how big it is or how much detail it has. But you know, and it's like when you've got as many full coverage as me, it's like, I can't justify that. I can't justify going and purchasing yet something else that's even more stitches. I'm trying to show restraint. Currently. Can I ask what the stitch count is on your Afghan? So this is an 18 count. It's an 18 count fireside. Yeah, fireside linen. And obviously I'm stitching it 4 over 2. So it's nice and chunky. Not particularly hard on the eyes, that's for sure. Which makes a change, she says. Looks like blocks of colour stitching. It sort of is, but it sort of isn't. It's just that I'm working on the sky. So if you look in the picture on the screen, I'm working the very top block. I think when you start to get further down, starting, isn't it? Can you hear? Oh God. When you get further down, obviously it starts becoming more of a picture. So at the moment, I'm just doing like lots of sky. Let me have a little drink. This is just going to be the downside, people, is that if my voice gives out before we get to the end of this. Crafty Tabby Cat says, so are you going to Arizona or is she coming to you? She is coming to the UK. She's coming to the UK to one of the stitching retreats. So I have the pleasure of seeing Deborah here. Crystal says, oh, 4 over 2. It's beautiful. It's definitely easier stitching. I certainly don't need my mag eyes for this. Oh, there you go. Charlotte's just put it in. 36 inches by 45 inch finished size. Wow. You really had to tell me whilst I was sitting here stitching on that, didn't you? Charlotte wants to be kidnapped so that she can meet Deborah. I don't know, Charlotte. You're small enough to fit in my handbag, so maybe I could. Do you know what this is like? I've put. I'm going to tell you this now, just because I'm sharing. I love to share with you all. So, do you remember? Well, the last time that I showed my Afghan, this Afghan, I showed you that I can't stitch in hand, so I put it in a little Q-snap into the squares so that I could do it on the train. However, I didn't change the Q-snap before I started this live stream. And of course, because I've got all of this extra stuff over on the right-hand side here, which is just about to fall off, it's really awkward to stitch over on this corner. If I'd have been on this side, it would have been fine. But because all the fabric is this side, it's a bit of a struggle. So if you can see the needle wiggling around and like looking like it's going in all sorts of different directions, it's because I'm doing this probably the most cack-handed way you will ever see anyone stitch this. But it's because the Q-snap really is too small for where I'm actually sitting and stitching it. But I didn't tell you that. I'm a total professional over here. Not. I will jump in as you drive past. I'm like 15 minutes away from the hotel. Well, Charlotte, see, that's what you need to do. You just need to come and stop in. Come and see me for a cup of coffee. And of course, we could introduce you to Deborah. And, you know, you can come and have a cup of coffee. Come say hi. Because I haven't seen you for ages. And I'm not likely to see you for ages. So, you know, if you're only 15 minutes away, there's absolutely nothing stopping you coming and coming to the crew and coming to say hi to me. And if you happen to say hi to me, you're going to have to say hi to everybody else as well, right? Because that's what we do. It's a very inclusive thing. Right, how many are we at? 3 rows. Look at me. My next pattern to purchase as a treat is likely to be Puppy Loving Petunia by Sheena Pike. Oh, that's a nice one. Silver stitches. I remember the video when you bought this one. You enabled me to buy the Poltergeist Pirate. Yeah, that one is sitting there waiting in the wings, but I can't. I just cannot. I cannot start anything else, right? It's like, because, you know, when you're sort of sitting there thinking to yourself, I can't possibly start anything else, because it's like, well, I can't put loads of my whips away and put them into like a type of timeout. Only to then start something else that's waiting in the wings. It's like, no, things have to be finished before I start something new. Do you know what I mean? Oh dear, excuse me. Sue says, what is the best count to use when doing tent stitch? I don't think there is a best count. I think it's what works for you. Tent stitch for me, I quite like 28 count, but that's just me. That's sort of my sweet spot, but I think everybody's different. Christy says, off topic, I just want to mention how pretty your nails are. I live vicariously through other people's nail colours. I love them. My nails are always so short. Take a drink. I honestly, do you like the nails, people? They were recently done because before that we were still rocking the Christmas festive nails. So I was like, yeah, it's time to. I knew that I wouldn't have time once we got past New Year to go and get fresh nails put on for work. So I was like, well, I need to change them out. Otherwise, I probably still would have been full of sparkles and Christmas. I'm so proud of you for working to finish your current whips. Says a mostly monogamous Stitcher and Teresa. We always love your nails. Thank you, sweetheart. It's a nail. I do love my nails. You know, when it's just like I love to change my nails. Although saying that, whenever I go to the nail shop, they do keep trying to convince me to have longer nails or change the shape of them. Now, see, I like these because these are like what I call, what shape would you call those? They're like an almond shape, right? So with almond shape, it makes it so that I can still function like a normal human being. I can still, you know, button up shirts. I can still pick things up off the floor. All of those good things. Well, when it was Christmas and I went to the nail shop, they turned around and said, oh, you know, have you considered changing the shape? So we'll make them slightly shorter for you, but we'll square them because that will look nice. So I was like, oh, okay then. Do you know what? I should never listen. I should never listen because literally as soon as they turned them square, I couldn't do a thing. I couldn't pick anything up off the floor. All of those types of things, I was just like, I couldn't function. The only thing I could do was, well, not a lot. Even down to threading a needle, I was really struggling with. I was really having a job with it. So I was just like, well, as soon as I went in there this week, and I said to him, do me a favour. I said, please turn them back to the same shape that I'm used to. And remind me next time not to listen to what anybody else says. I should just go with what I like. Because, yeah, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Stitching, picking up needles, especially with the whole beading and doing my little finish here. Especially, yeah, with that. Trying to do the beading with nails that were like super square. It was not an easy feat, people. It was much tougher than I would like to imagine. Who would think that nails would have such an impact on the smallest of things? You mean they create the nail length? So basically it is my own nails. See? So they're my own nails. But what they did is, because I had them longer, I had them in this almond shape, but they were longer. They turned around and said, make them square. So all they done was they sort of like left them really long and then just shaved them or sort of filed them down so that they were sort of square across the top like that. And it was the squaring that was the problem. I couldn't work with them. That's funny. I have mine more square and shorter and I can do anything. They suggested I go almost almond shape and I was struggling something furious. It's strange. It's strange how it's sort of like a, you know, some people get away better with square. Some people prefer the almond shape. I think it's what you get used to. Bearing in mind that my job is a lot of keyboard. You know, I spend a lot of time typing. The square ones I found kept hitting on the other keys because I'm used to having like a slimmer end to my nails, if you like. Chrissy said, I thought about trying Colour Street Nail Colour. What's Colour Street Nail Colour, sweetheart? Not one I've heard of. I used to do my own nails all the time, but now I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm just like, I'll just let someone else do it because it's easier. Right, the fact that my throat is getting so dry, people, I will call this stream at 8:30 this evening just because I can feel my throat getting drier and drier. So I'm starting to cough more and more, and I don't want to subject you all to that or myself. I'm rather happy that I'm getting some of this rather blocky colour sorted out though whilst I'm talking to you all. I can't believe how much thread I get through though. Stitching this. with 4 strands, and I'm doing really long lengths on this. And it's, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I was like, do I need longer lengths? And I was like, I'll just do a few that are longer length, and then I'll do some that are shorter lengths. But the shorter length, I get like 10 stitches, and then I need to rethread my needle. So I've gone longer, but now I think I might have gone a little bit too long with this lot. But we will make do. We're getting through it quick and fast with 4 strands, that's for sure. So have you all managed to be super productive on this stream? I know I have, which is unusual considering that I'm the one doing all the talking and reading the chat. And trying to stitch at the same time, because it's, yeah, well, you know how bad I am at this. I'm not normally that good at it, if I'm honest. I'm going to have to turn that music down because that's loud at my end. Oh, hello, the stream just had a crazy moment. I wondered where all the comments had gone. Charlotte says, go relax for the evening. Yes, it is eating my thread so quick. It does. I was quite shocked at how much it gets through. It gets through loads. Okay, I'm just going to load this needle up so that and cover that last bit. 9 stitches to go. 45,000 stitches in my head this year. Hannah, check you out. Who's working on their evening in the park? Blushing, is that blushing pink stitches? Are you working on your chatelaine? I need to get mine out, but I'm not doing that until the new year. I need to give that its my full attention as it truly deserves. Sherry says, I've been multitasking, doing laundry and baking a batch of crumb cake, which are like cookies, but Swedish. Oh, I hear the Baileys is good for a cough. Well, it is good for a cough, but I think I would have to drink copious amounts of it, Claire, and I could be completely and utterly sozzled before we get to the end of the live. So I'm trying to sort of not guzzle the Baileys and be very ladylike with it. Speedy X Stitcher says she's been productive. 500 stitches so far. Look at you. Shall I come to stitch a tree for you? There you go, Charlotte. See, you're thinking outside the box, my love. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can come. You can come and stitch a tree for me. And happen to see Deborah all at the same time. That would work. Sandy's managed to get the motif stitched on both sides of Celtic Autumn. They need all the beads still, though. That's fine. Oh, have I got something to tell you? Do you know what? How many of you on this stream watch my videos? Whether it be an update video, a whip parade, or anything like that. How many of you watch those? Just curious here. Because there's something that's so funny that I've got to tell you. And unfortunately, I haven't got it with me to share it. I might have to pull it up on the screen and see if I can share my screen. Okay, so Hannah, silver stitches, missing in a stitch. Yes, 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 I do. Yes, I watch them all. Yep. Me. Of course, I'm always seeing... Right, okay, so we can pretty much safely say then that the majority of the people that are on this stream have watched pretty much all of the videos that I've put out in the last couple of weeks, right? Because I did, right? I cannot believe this. I did my whip parade And I did my plans video. And I'm pretty sure that I've shared my Winter White Santa on various other videos ahead of now. And would you believe it? Today I was reading through my comments because I was answering some of the comments, and someone turned around and said to me, Teresa, on your whip parade, you showed Winter White Santa. I think you might have made a mistake on it. So I'm like, what does she mean? She thinks I've made a mistake on it. So I was like, oh, here we go. Well, it wasn't just a little mistake. It was so obvious. So obvious. And only one person out of everybody that has watched all the videos has noticed that I was stitching the total wrong colour. Given that I put a picture of Winter White Santa and then my stitching right next to it, I didn't see it. Apparently none of you saw it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Instead of stitching red, I was stitching pink. So needless to say, Winter White Santa is sitting outside awaiting my arrival so that I can do frogging for the rest of this evening. So if you're interested to go and see what I'm referring to, if you go to, what is it on? If you go to my whip parade and look to the point where it gets to Winter White Santa and then look at the picture. So when you look at the picture of Winter White Santa and you're looking at him, if you look sort of where his head is, because I've done his head and then I've got one shoulder that's red. If you look at the other shoulder, it's pink. I don't know what I was thinking. And how I haven't seen it, I do not know. It was. I'm so pleased that she did call it out, though. I'll be honest, Jeanette. I'm so pleased she did, because if I'd have got all the way through all of the other bits and pieces and then realised that it was wrong, I would have really been kicking myself. So the fact that she did actually point out to me that where I'd gone wrong, although it's never nice to realise that you've gone wrong. I'm very, very grateful that she did point out to me that I'd got it wrong, because I probably wouldn't have even noticed until, well, at some point I think I must have realised, or I must have noticed, because it's like, well, you can't have one side of Winter White Santa being bright red and the other side with like a pink section. I can't even, yeah. That's, I don't even know how I've managed to mess it up. And when I was looking at the colours, I was sitting there thinking, what is it? How have I even managed to do that? And I still can't work it out. I still can't work it out. I wished I'd brought Winter White Santa in with me, but he's outside waiting for my attention to sit and pick out all the pink stitches. Which, to be honest, I mean, it's not that bad because there's not that much of it. But yeah, I didn't even see it. Didn't even see it. Most embarrassing moment. There you go. But I thought I'd share it with you all, because obviously when I next show you Winter White Santa, you're all going to be sitting there going, you know, does this look slightly different? I mean, but then again, I mean, if none of us noticed the fact that I'd stitched the wrong colour in the first place, I'm guessing that none of you would realise that if all of a sudden it was turned from pink to red on a before and after picture, no one's going to be none the wiser anyway, right? I would probably not have seen it, besides I mostly listen to flosstube. Do you know what? I know what you mean. How many of us, you sit there and it's like, you sort of every now and then, like you pop your head up to sort of look at something that they're showing you. But generally, you spend more time listening than you do actually watching. I tend to find that I'll watch a bit, but I tend to I sort of get distracted. So I'll sort of be sitting there listening, and then all of a sudden when they say something that makes my little ears prick up, I'm like, oh, what's that? So no doubt you are all the same. We're not that different, are we? Okay, where am I at, people? Oh, my throat is starting to feel really, really dry now. I watch because I love your energy. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you, Laurie. Although my energy's waning now. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm like, oh. I'm here listening and semi-watching while working on you know what. Kiara, you do make me laugh. I know what. I do know what. We'll leave that right there for now. Absolutely listen and stitch. Brilliant multitasking. Yeah. Well, my multitasking is not that good. Now I've just dropped the lid to my pen on the floor. Okay, I think I'm going to stop stitching because it could get quite messy otherwise. Right, let me see if I can flick the screen back. Hold on. Where are we at, people? Let's go to this screen. I think it's this screen. Is it this? It is this screen. Oh, well, I have to say, I know I've not been on for very long this evening. It's not like our usual nice long ones that we do, but with the cough and the fact that I'm a little out of practice at this, I don't think we did too bad for an impromptu live. I thought, you know what, if I don't get in and do one now, I can imagine that by next month it's going to be one of those things where I'm like, I'll keep putting it off and putting it off. Whereas I'm like, do you know what? If you just do one now, finish the year off with a bang, the way you should, it won't be quite so hard then in the new year. It's not like, oh, it's a whole new year and I haven't seen everyone since the year before. And it's lovely that Lauren has been available and around to set up the tech, make sure everything was working, come in and do the odd tweak where it needed to be for me, because that's the other thing. It's like it's all very well and good saying, oh yeah, go live, do live streams, but if it's been a while since you've done it and you haven't played with your tech, I suppose it's a bit like picking up a really intricate bit of stitching, and it's like once you get into the flow of it, it all makes total sense. But when you've been away from it a while and you're fresh back into it, takes a little bit of extra thought, let's say. And for me, I always need a little more extra thought, that's for sure. Well, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me people to talk to. It has been an absolute blast, considering that it was so impromptu and wasn't necessarily planned. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I hope that you have had fun and that I've talked your ears off and you've managed to get some stitching done. For those of you where I didn't answer your questions on the chat, I am sorry. It's very hard to keep track on the chat. And to be honest, the computer screens look a bit busy this evening because it's like I've got one here, 2 chat boxes here and here. Yeah. That along with the cold, the cough, and of course the Baileys, probably didn't help there. Probably didn't help. But the fact that I'm so new back, it just takes a little of getting used to again, because you have to learn to sort of remember which bits you're looking at. I don't think it was that bad. I might have waffled a little bit, but we answered some questions. I'm so pleased that so many of you got some stitching done. I got some stitching done, so thank you so much for that. Of course, it's not going to be too long till you see me again with another live. I'm not sure when that will be, but definitely in the new year. I want to try and get back into the live streams. So I wish you all a very, very, very happy new year, and that 2024 is going to be super productive for you all, and that you all have a wonderful, wonderful time with stitching, with life. I'm probably not going to actually look forward to the whole New Year evening, purely because Honey is so frightened of the fireworks, it will cause its own problems. But once I get the other side of that and 2024 kicks in, I am super excited. I'm super excited for my stitching. I'm super excited for, you know, only having one boss, hopefully having a bit more time on my hands. So yeah, I feel good. I feel that it's going to be good vibes, people. It's going to be good vibes. So I hope it's all good vibes for you. Carry on stitching. Have a lovely evening. And it won't be long. And I will see you all again super soon on the next live or the next video or the next Stitch with me. Who knows? But yeah, thank you ever so much, people. Have a lovely, lovely evening.